My child, stop right where you are and let this next breath become sacred, because I am stepping directly into your timeline with intention and authority before the choice in front of you shifts the entire landscape of your life. This is not random. This is not algorithm. This is not coincidence. This is a divine interruption authored by my own hand, and I need you to feel the weight of it instead of brushing past it like just another passing thought. Because heaven is leaning toward you right now, and I refuse to let you walk one more step without clarity, covering your mind and peace, anchoring your spirit. You are about to move forward carrying confusion you have normalized, exhaustion you have hidden, and wounds you have not fully surrendered. And if I did not interrupt you in this exact second, you would have stepped into something that looked harmless but carried consequences you were not prepared to manage. Breathe. Slow down. Let the noise fall away. Because I carved this moment out of eternity to meet you face to face, and I will not compete with your distractions. I will not shout over your anxiety and wounds you have not fully surrendered. And if I did not interrupt you in this exact second, you would have stepped into something that looked harmless but carried consequences you were not prepared to manage. Breathe. Slow down. Let the noise fall away. Because I carved this moment out of eternity to meet you face to face, and I will not compete with your distractions. I will not shout over your anxiety. I will simply ask you to be still long enough to recognize that I am speaking directly to you. You have felt it for days now, that subtle stirring, that restlessness that would not quiet down, that heaviness pressing against your chest when everything around you seemed normal. Those random waves of emotion that rose without warning and made you pause and wonder what was happening to you. That was not instability. That was not weakness. That was me drawing your attention to a shift forming in the unseen. I have been adjusting things around you, rearranging timelines, blocking certain doors, allowing certain tensions, softening certain attachments, because you are standing at a threshold, and thresholds require awareness. You thought you were simply tired, emotionally drained, unsure of yourself. But I was slowing your pace because your next decision carries ripple effects into months and years ahead. I see the terrain you cannot see. I see the conversations forming behind closed doors. I see the opportunities disguising themselves as shortcuts. I see the relationships that appear comforting, but would slowly drain your purpose. I see the distractions dressed as blessings. I see the storms forming quietly at a distance, and I love you too much to let you wander blindly into something that will cost you seasons of unnecessary recovery. This is not fear speaking. This is protection. This is alignment. This is preparation. You have been making decisions from places of hurt you never admitted were still open, from places of fatigue you convinced yourself were normal, from places of loneliness you tried to mask with busyness. And I am telling you now that you cannot build your future on survival mode. You are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are not faithless for having questions. You are not unstable for needing reassurance. You are human, and you have carried more than most people ever saw. I watched you wipe tears away before they fully fell because you did not want to be dramatic. I watched you smile in rooms where you felt invisible. I watched you replay conversations at night, wondering what you did wrong. I watched you question your worth when someone else failed to recognize it. I watched you fight to remain kind after being wounded. I watched you hold yourself together when your inner world felt like it was collapsing. And through every silent breakdown, I was present. When peace suddenly came over you in moments that should have crushed you, that was me. When you found the strength to get up one more day even though you felt empty, that was me. When hope flickered back into your heart after you thought it was gone, that was me breathing into you. You have survived storms that were never meant to destroy you but to reveal you. And even when you accused yourself of being too sensitive, too emotional, too much, I saw a heart that refuses to harden completely, and that tenderness is precious to me. But beneath your silent endurance there has been warfare, and I need you to understand that some of what you have experienced was not random misfortune, but resistance against your purpose. The enemy recognized the light in you long before you did. He saw the calling attached to your obedience. He saw the influence tied to your healing. He saw the authority that would emerge once you stopped doubting yourself. and he began attacking early. He used delay as a weapon, stretching timelines until you questioned whether I heard you at all, blocking doors that seemed right so you would assume you were forgotten, allowing waiting seasons that tested your confidence and tempted you to settle for less. He whispered that your dreams were unrealistic, that your prayers were unanswered, that maybe you misunderstood my promises, but delay was never denial, it was preservation. He used distraction, filling your days with noise, responsibilities, emotional entanglements, minor crises, endless scrolling, anything that would crowd out the clarity of my voice. He cluttered your schedule so you would forget your assignment. He overwhelmed your mind so you would neglect your vision. He surrounded you with urgency so you would abandon intentionality. And when distraction did not fully derail you, he used people. Some came with charm, but carried insecurity that projected onto you. Some came with admiration but harbored envy. Some spoke carelessly into your identity, planting seeds of doubt that took root before you realized it. Some left abruptly and triggered abandonment wounds you thought were healed. Some criticized you for growing, because your growth exposed their stagnation. You internalized words that were never meant to define you. You absorbed blame that was never yours to carry. You questioned your value based on the inability of others to love you properly. But hear me clearly, their limitations were never a reflection of your worth. Then came fear, subtle at first, then louder. Fear that you would fail if you tried again. Fear that you would be rejected if you showed your true self. Fear that you would lose everything if you stepped fully into what I placed inside you. Fear that your past mistakes disqualified you from future promises. Fear that stability would never last. Fear attempted to shrink your voice, dim your creativity, silence your leadership, and convince you that safety meant smallness. And when fear could not completely contain you, exhaustion followed. Not just physical tiredness, but soul weariness, the kind that makes even hope feel heavy, the kind that makes prayer feel like effort, the kind that makes you consider settling simply because you are tired of fighting. The enemy knew that if he could exhaust you long enough, you might stop expecting anything extraordinary. But even in exhaustion, I sustained you. Even when you felt numb, I kept your heart beating toward purpose. Even when you wanted to quit, I reinforced you quietly. You thought you were barely surviving, but you were being preserved. And now, standing at this gate that looks ordinary to your eyes, but is powerful in the unseen, you are about to choose again. And I am telling you, do not choose from pressure. Do not choose from panic. Do not choose from loneliness. Do not choose from pride. Choose from peace. My voice will never rush you into what requires discernment. If it is from me, it will align with clarity. It will strengthen your spirit. It will not demand you abandon your healing to maintain it. I am repositioning you emotionally so that you do not drag old wounds into new seasons. I am recalibrating your thinking so that you do not repeat patterns disguised as familiarity. I am strengthening your boundaries so that you do not call access what is actually invasion. This pause is holy. This stillness is strategic. This interruption is love. You asked me for guidance. You asked me for a sign. You asked me not to let you miss what is meant for you. And this is your answer. I am covering your next step with wisdom before you take it. I am removing what would have entangled you. I am exposing what would have deceived you. I am healing what would have influenced you improperly. You are not being stopped because you are incapable. You are being slowed because you are valuable. Your destiny carries weight. Your obedience carries generational impact. Your healing carries influence beyond what you see. So do not rush ahead trying to prove strength. Allow me to lead you into strength. Release the need to control every outcome. Release the need to be understood by everyone. Release the guilt that was never assigned to you by me. I am anchoring you in identity before I elevate you in assignment. You are chosen, not because you are flawless, but because you are willing. You are called, not because you are loud, but because you are surrendered. You are protected, not because life is easy, but because I am present. The battles you survived did not break you, they refined you. The delays you endured did not deny you, they matured you. The tears you cried did not weaken you, they softened you for the compassion you will carry. Now stand still and let me finish what I started in you. I am healing the places that still ache. I am silencing the lies that still echo. I am restoring the confidence that was chipped away. I am renewing the vision that grew blurry. Do not fear what is ahead, but do not walk into it without me. Let peace become your confirmation. Let wisdom become your filter. Let courage rise, not from ego, but from trust. And now, in this sacred breath, I seal this moment over you. Father, cover my child with clarity that cuts through confusion. Flood their mind with truth that dismantles every lie. Strengthen their heart against fear. Guard their steps from misalignment. Restore their energy where exhaustion tried to settle. Heal their wounds where betrayal attempted to define them. Expose every hidden trap before it reaches them. Align every relationship with purpose. Close every door that leads to detour. Open every door that advances destiny. And anchor them so deeply in me that no storm, no delay, no distraction, no voice of the enemy can uproot them again. I declare over you that you will not move prematurely. You will not settle out of fatigue. You will not shrink because of fear. You will not repeat what you have already outgrown. You will walk forward with discernment, with authority, with peace, with confidence rooted in who I say you are. Receive this pause as protection. Receive this stillness as strategy. Receive this interruption as evidence that you are seen, loved, guarded, and chosen. And from this moment forward, may every step you take be ordered, every decision you make be covered, and every season you enter be aligned with the destiny I wrote for you before you ever took your first breath. And let your heart respond not with panic, but with trust, not with doubt, but with faith, not with fear, but with surrender, because I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will lead you safely into what is next. My child, now that your heart has settled into the stillness I created, and your spirit has felt the weight of my interruption, I need you to understand what comes after protection. Because I did not stop you only to keep you safe, I stopped you to prepare you for elevation. There is a difference between being preserved and being positioned, and you are entering the season of positioning. Everything you have endured was not only survival, it was training, it was construction, it was hidden development happening beneath the surface while you thought you were simply trying to make it through another day. You saw chaos, but I saw calibration. You saw heartbreak, but I saw the strengthening of your discernment. You saw rejection, but I saw redirection. You saw delay, but I saw refinement. The nights you cried were not wasted nights. They were nights I was expanding your capacity. The moments you felt overlooked were not insignificance. They were insulation from environments that could not handle who you are becoming. You were hidden because exposure too early would have attracted pressure before you were fortified enough to withstand it. Understand this clearly. I do not elevate what is unanchored. I do not promote what is unprepared. I do not expand what has not been strengthened internally. And you, my child, have been strengthened in ways you did not recognize. The endurance you built in silence will become authority in public. The compassion you developed through pain will become healing for others. The wisdom you gained from disappointment will become strategy in your next assignment. I was building stability inside you while instability surrounded you, so that when I shift you into greater territory, you will not collapse under the weight of visibility. You have been asking why the pressure has been so intense, why the resistance felt targeted, why the warfare seemed disproportionate to your current level, and the answer is simple but powerful. The opposition has always sensed the scope of your future. The enemy does not waste ammunition on those who pose no threat. The intensity of the battle was evidence of the magnitude of the calling. But hear me carefully now. The next season will not require you to fight the same way. You have fought enough internal battles. You have wrestled enough doubt. You have navigated enough emotional turbulence. What I am bringing you into will require clarity more than chaos, obedience more than overexertion, discipline more than desperation. You cannot carry old coping mechanisms into new territory. You cannot cling to survival habits when I am calling you into stability. You cannot keep entertaining voices that kept you small when I am about to expand your influence. This is why I interrupted you before. Because elevation without healing creates collapse, and I refuse to let you rise only to fall from unaddressed wounds. I am upgrading your vision now. You have been seeing yourself through the lens of past mistakes, through the lens of others' opinions, through the lens of fear-based self-assessment. But I am shifting your perspective to align with how I see you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are not too damaged. You are not too complicated. You are in process, and process is not punishment. You are being matured for stewardship. The opportunities coming toward you will require emotional intelligence, spiritual stability, and mental resilience. This is why I have been pruning certain relationships. This is why I have been exposing certain patterns. This is why I have been making you uncomfortable in environments that once felt normal. Discomfort was the signal that you had outgrown what used to fit. My child, as this word settles into your spirit and the weight of what I have spoken begins to root itself deeper than emotion, I need you to understand that this is not merely motivation, not merely comfort, not merely inspiration for a passing moment. This is a covenant reminder of who you are and whose you are. And as we come to the close of this message, I am not leaving you with intensity alone. I am sealing you with assurance. Everything I have exposed was not to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. Not to burden you, but to free you. Not to make you hyper-aware of darkness, but to make you confident in the authority you carry over it. The season ahead will not look like the season behind you, because you are not the same person you were when the last chapter began. You have been refined, sharpened, humbled, strengthened, stretched, and stabilized. You have cried your way into maturity, prayed your way into clarity, endured your way into resilience. And now you are stepping into responsibility. Responsibility is not pressure. It is privilege. It is the privilege of stewardship over the growth I have formed in you. You asked me to use your life, and I am answering that prayer. But being used by me does not mean being exploited by people. It means being aligned with purpose. So hear me clearly in this final sealing of your heart. You will not return to what broke you. You will not romanticize what I removed. You will not chase what I blocked. You will not reopen doors I closed in mercy. You will not minimize your discernment to maintain temporary peace. You will not betray your healing for nostalgia. You will not shrink because someone else is uncomfortable with your evolution. You will not abandon boundaries I taught you to establish. The version of you that tolerated confusion as love, inconsistency as passion, neglect as patience, and anxiety as excitement is dissolving. You are emerging with clarity in your standards, stability in your identity, and conviction in your spirit. I am restoring your expectation for goodness. Life has conditioned you to brace for disappointment, to anticipate loss, to prepare for betrayal. But I am retraining your heart to anticipate faithfulness, to expect provision, to recognize alignment. This does not mean you will never face opposition again. It means opposition will no longer define you. Storms may still come, but you will not drown in them. Challenges may arise, but they will not dismantle you. Because now you know that I am not distant in difficulty. I am present in it. The next season will require stewardship of joy. Yes, joy. You have learned how to endure pain. Now you must learn how to sustain joy without suspicion. You have learned how to fight through darkness. Now you must learn how to rest in light. You have learned how to survive crisis. Now you must learn how to manage blessing. Blessing requires discipline just as much as adversity does. Guard your time. Guard your mind. Guard your body. Guard your focus, not with fear, but with wisdom. I am increasing your influence in ways that may be subtle at first. Your words will carry more weight. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your decisions will ripple further than you imagine. So remain intentional, remain anchored, remain aligned. Do not seek platforms before you seek presence. Do not chase visibility before you cultivate depth. Depth sustains what hype cannot. And when validation comes, and it will come, do not let it intoxicate you. Remember the nights when only I saw your tears. Remember the seasons when applause was absent. Remember who carried you when no one else recognized your effort. Gratitude will protect you from pride. Humility will protect you from downfall. Intimacy with me will protect you from drifting. I am also healing your relationship with trust. Not blind trust in everyone, but healthy trust rooted in discernment. You will love again without losing yourself. You will connect again without abandoning boundaries. You will collaborate without compromising identity. The fear that made you hyper-independent is being dismantled. Independence kept you safe in crisis, but partnership will expand you in calling. Do not confuse self-protection with destiny. I am aligning you with people who will not compete with your light but celebrate it. People who will not drain your energy but multiply it. People who will not manipulate your kindness but honor it. But you must resist the urge to test every good thing as if it will inevitably fail. Allow growth. Allow goodness. Allow grace. You are not cursed to repeat cycles. Cycles break when awareness meets obedience. And you have both now. As this message closes, I want you to internalize one unshakable truth. You are not random. You are not accidental. You are not misplaced in time. You are not overlooked in heaven. You are strategically alive in this generation for a reason that is still unfolding. The frustrations you felt were often friction preparing you for precision. The detours you experienced were often diversions from destruction. The silence you endured was often strategy forming beneath the surface. Nothing was wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your wondering. I am weaving everything into a tapestry that will make sense in retrospect. And when you look back, you will see my fingerprints on moments you once labeled as failure. Now receive this final commissioning in your spirit. Walk forward with steadiness. Speak with courage. Decide with peace. Rest without guilt. Work without striving. Love without losing identity. Lead without arrogance. Serve without self-neglect. Dream without apology. Build without fear. End quote. And when doubt tries to revisit you, remind it of this moment. Remind it that I interrupted your path because you matter. Remind it that you are guarded, guided, and grounded. And now I seal you again in prayer. Father, complete the work you have begun in this life. Fortify their mind against regression. Stabilize their emotions in truth. Guard their relationships from sabotage. Align their finances with wisdom. Order their steps with precision. Expose any hidden trap before it manifests. Surround them with favor that does not corrupt them. Give them boldness that does not inflate them. Give them success that does not distance them from you. Let their life become evidence of restoration. Let their healing become a testimony. Let their obedience unlock generational breakthrough. Let their faith silence internal accusations. Let their peace disrupt anxiety. Let their clarity dismantle confusion. Let their resilience inspire others still in survival mode. And as they move forward from this message, let them never forget that they are covered. Covered in grace, covered in wisdom, covered in protection, covered in calling. I declare over you that the chapter of wandering is closing and the chapter of intentional living is beginning. The chapter of silent suffering is closing and the chapter of visible strength is beginning. The chapter of doubt-driven decisions is closing and the chapter of spirit-led alignment is beginning. You will not look back with regret, but with gratitude. You will not move forward with panic, but with partnership. You will not live small to stay comfortable, but rise fully into what I have authored. And as this word ends, my presence does not. Carry it with you. Walk in it, build from it, and know without hesitation that I am with you in the quiet mornings, in the busy afternoons, in the uncertain evenings, and in every unseen battle ahead. This is not goodbye. This is commissioning. Go forward anchored, awakened, and assured.